Well, hi folks. If you've been paying attention to the course flasher since Friday, you know that we're going to mount a very short quiz for the first assignment in both courses. It's short because it's intended to cover only the first 28 pages of the textbook in Communications 2311 and the first 26 pages of the test in 3311. Hey, look, we're going after key concepts here that are taught in the first 2 weeks of the term. Things like why we communicate, what are the questions we are trying to answer every time we talk. And of course, you need to know the key elements of the transactional or IP model of communication, the axioms or the truths that drive that model and drive our talk. And in the case of 3311, a couple of small definitions on culture, because the last couple of pages go over into the culture chapter. Don't forget to work on your slides. Take a look at the slides for the first few lectures. Look at the headers. Look at the definitions. That's what these short tests do. That's what these particular short tests are going to do for you. 2311, we're going to use fill-in-the-blank questions. That'll review the key concepts we taught, and you'll have about 15 minutes to complete it. Now, we've actually tested this out. Can you imagine? We found some students who were graduates of the department several years ago. I wrote them and said, come on, give me a hand here. I know you vaguely remember this stuff. Take a whack at the test and see what you think, right? See how the test works, see how the timing works. They all agreed that around 15 minutes for the 2311 test was perfectly suitable. On the 3311 test, it's a multiple choice. It's a shorter test. It has less weight in that course. They also agreed that it took about 10 minutes to complete, and so we've tested it too, and people seem to think it works just fine. Now, you keep your eye on the timer as you're working. You'll be able to see it, and if you get everything done before the time is up, you may want to review your answers. Some sober second thought kind of thing. If you don't get everything done, or you get just to the end at the time when the timer shuts it down, the test will send away your answers automatically to the database. So, in fact, you won't be able to get them back. So don't stop. Go back only if you've got time. Otherwise, the test closes up, the answers are recorded, and you're done. Now, the link in the flasher and in the email that you'll receive will open at 7 a.m. on Wednesday morning, and it'll stay open until 9 a.m. Remember, that's this Wednesday, October the 19th. You can complete the quiz anytime in the time period. You can give yourself the time to do this, but once you open a particular test, you have to complete it. You can't open it and close it and then open it later in the test period. Give yourself the 15 minutes for 2311, straight top to bottom 15 minutes. Give yourself the 10 minutes. If you're taking both of them together, give yourself the 10 minutes for 3311. You get the whole thing done in less than half an hour. To log into the quiz, enter your email address. Use the preferred email address that you've listed with York. We're going to send you an email on this tomorrow to remind you of it, and use your student number as the password. Again, if you're in both courses, you won't have any trouble doing the two tests one after another, because remember, they cover essentially the same material. The first few weeks of 3311 are a kind of gift to people who are taking 2311. It's a summary version of 2311. In the end, just go for it on both tests, whether you're taking one test in 2311 or another test in 3311, or you're taking both of them. I promise you, this will be reasonably painless. And as I always like to say, just go for it. Talk to you soon.